Whatever they think will get them to vote is what they do.
Okay.
And that's the way it's been run forever. That's the Democrat policy is to give away everything, make people dependent upon the party, and then you'll have to vote for Democrats if you want that welfare check and those food stamps. That's their whole beat.
Yeah, because they don't want to miss a program of opera. You know, they have to watch opera, and if they have to go to work, they cannot watch
Can't
opera.
watch Oprah.
You know, and or Steve Harvey, so he can make another mistake.
I don't know how you miss Steve Harvey. How do you not watch him? All I see is like a grill of a giant car coming towards me. Jeez, criminy, he looks like a Rolls Royce coming down the street, you know? I was lucky enough to have one of those cars one time, and my insurance rate was really low on this Rolls Royce. I called my insurance guy, I said, I got other cars. I go, how come that car is the cheapest car I got, and it's the most expensive one? They said, we find out we never get a claim against a Rolls Royce, because if somebody sees it coming down the street, that's the last car they're going to hit. They don't want to hit that car. So, you know,
Are you sure?
That's what he told me. He said, we never get a claim. It's like Steve Harvey coming down the street.
I would think completely the opposite, because people like to hit a Rolls Royce so they can get some money out of it.
They're not going to. It's their fault.
Oh, that's
They're the
right,
ones that are out of control.
I know, but I tell you, when I had my Bentley, the insurance was very high. Very high.
Well, then I don't know.
You know, but of course it was.
That was probably your driving record that caused it to go so high.
What do you mean? I never had a ticket.
Well, it doesn't. How many accidents?
My tickets are all for parking tickets.
Oh. Well, they were probably all lowered down from drunk driving and stuff like that. You settle.
Yeah.
They lower it down to a parking ticket.
Right.
So they get the notch on their belt.
Yeah.
They got a conviction over there.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't drink, so.
Oh.
I'm
well,
like,
probably
you
not
know,
anymore.
did you notice that Donald Trump stole my line?
He did.
He stole my line.
Exactly, word for word.
I told him last night, and he laughed.
Doesn't smoke and doesn't do drugs. And
he laughed when I told him, I said, you stole my line.
Yeah. Where do you think I got it from? You know.
And I was, last night I was at the State of the City.
I saw you there. I was watching on TV to make sure that you showed up.
Yeah.
That you weren't at some bar.
No,
with your guest, or the person you went with.
Yeah, I saw Oscar over there, Oscar Goodman, and Mayor Goodman did a very nice speech, and it was full. It was packed, that place. I didn't think.
Yeah, I saw that.
Were they televising it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then after
a regular channel or the city channel? Channel 2.
Whatever that is, I got caught.
That's the city channel.
Yeah. And then after it was over, she came off the stage there, or the podium or whatever. Oscar jumped up to kiss her. You walked right there behind Oscar, and then you were kind of like going up towards the back a little bit, just starting to, and then she walked by and went over.
Yeah, I went to help her to get off the stage, but
okay.
She went through because she wanted to jump from the stage. So then she went over to the side to come to the steps.
Oh, right.
You know,
and then right after that, after she started to go back in front of the stage, walking away from Oscar, the thing went blank right there. That was it. They cut off the feed. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good time.
They panned the audience now and then. They took shot of her at the podium, and then they kind of panned around a little. Unlike Trump's rallies, you know, they never show the crowd.
No,
you know, they only zero in on him, and they don't show the crowd.
Why not?
Because the crowd's so extensive, they don't want to show how many people showed up. It's the media just being
the mainstream media.
Right. And then if there's a Bill Clinton there giving a speech, like the other night he had a hall that would fit, I don't know, several thousand, and only 300, 400, 500 showed up or whatever. So they get everybody together.
I thought that maybe it was because they don't have good cameras, but now I understand. You know,
they don't want to show the crowd.
They don't want to show the crowd. If it's too much, they don't want to show that Donald Trump has the crowd. And if it's too little, they don't want people to know that nobody listened to Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton.
They want to project the opposite of what the truth is. That's what the media does.
Yeah.
See, they'll never tell you the truth.
They'll
never tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Because they have an agenda. And their agenda is to support the liberal. And not vet him even, not even bring up anything. How can a Hillary Clinton be running? I just don't get this. She's the most unqualified person ever, with the most baggage. How can you have this bag? How can you have an indictment hanging over your head?
That's why I'm saying, and I'm repeating every time I get a chance from now to November. If she win the election, I quit.
Yeah,
I completely quit.
It blow my mind. I never thought Obama would ever get elected because he was an empty suit from day one. I knew exactly what he was, and I discounted him. He can't win, is what I said, you know. But coming off a cycle where the news media had hammered Bush for 8 years, destroyed the man, lied about him, called him Hitler and everything else, then you get this cycle where the media slammed him so bad that all these low information people have fallen for that, and now they're going to vote for the opposite side because they believe all the crap the media's been telling them. So you're going to go through cycles. For 8 years of Dems, 8 years of Republicans, go back to 8 years of Dems.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the part of the problem with the two-party system. We got to get away from these two parties because they're destructive. They're destroying this country. They divide us. Why do we need to be divided? We're one country, remember? The forefathers and all that. We the people, one country. And we need to go back to that. And let somebody run for Senate. Let Rolando Larraz run for Senate against, Steve Dempsey, and let's see who the best man wins, and that's it. You're not a Democrat, you're not a Republican.
Oh, I can never run against Steve Dempsey, man. He win.
Well, there you go.
I cannot do that.
He's Captain Truth.
You know, I mean.
So what are you going to do?
First of all,
it's like running against Trump.
First of all, he doesn't have an accent, so people understand what he's saying. And the second one, he's intelligent. I cannot never been a senator. I don't know how to be a senator, but I would like to be running for a state senator in the Nevada legislation. So I'm going to run in District 6 against Victoria Siemens.
But you've never even been in a legislature yet. How can you run for Senate right off the bat?
Well, she was never either.
I know, but you're the one complaining about her, and now you're going to do the same thing.
She was, and she became an assemblywoman. I'm sorry, and 5 months later, she decided she's already a figure.
You're lucky she's not running for governor yet.
I know.
Her break.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how these people take everybody for granted. I don't understand why. But that's the way it is. People do that all the time. And let's see what happened then. Let's see what the story is. But in the meantime, they
had, is his name Rance Previs, or what is the Republican National Committee?
Oh, yeah.
Rance, is that his name? Rance? Yeah. They had him on something, I forget who the show was, but he was saying that unequivocally, 100%, whoever the nominee is that has the delegates that goes to the nomination, the convention, will be nominated as their candidate. There's none of this. They're going to do anything about Trump, or if Trump gets the delegates and he wins the primaries and this and that, he will be he said it 100%. They asked him I think it was Hannity, asked him right cold out. He said, no, 100%. Because Hannity said, I hear about these backroom deals and this and that going on, No. So, anyways. And I don't see how anyone could. I think CNN, I heard today from somebody, CNN says if Trump's going to ruin the Republican Party. You know what? I go, good. They need to be ruined because they're corrupt.
They already ruined.
Yeah, they're corrupt.
They already
the Democrats more corrupt.
The Republican Party should be the Republican Party should be ashamed of themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
They should be ashamed of themselves because they are against each other.
No, they did.
I never seen so much division.
Well, Paul Ryan, they did get that bill through, to the president's desk the other day on eliminating Obamacare and not funding Planned Parenthood that got to the president's desk, and he vetoed it.
So now he's going to use the pen and the phone?
No, he vetoed the bill.
Oh.
Now it has to go back, I guess, to the House and the Senate and see if they can muster the votes to override his veto. But the point of the whole exercise was get it to his desk. Prior to now, nothing's ever gotten to the desk. So Obama can lie about it. He can call the Republicans obstructionists and this and that and everything. Well, no, now he vetoed the bill. The Congress and the Senate sent him a bill, he vetoed it. So now it's on him. And that's the first time I think it's happened since he's been president, that he actually had to take a stand. Of course, he don't care now because supposedly he's not running for re-election. Not today anyways, but we'll see how that plays out when Hillary blows up.
Yeah.
Because I think the smart money now is starting to move around a little bit, that she's going to be indicted because they don't see how she cannot be.
You know, I didn't know, and I was very disappointed today that Leo Pineda, the former Secretary of Defense and the former CIA boss, endorsed her. He endorsed.
He's a party hack. What is he supposed to do?
I couldn't believe it today. I find out that, and now he testified in the Benghazi committee. I think it was yesterday or today. I don't know when. I think it was yesterday. He testified after he already endorsed her. So I don't understand. Such an intelligent man like him.
That's the problem I was talking about with the parties. That's the division that the parties cause. How can you, with a clear conscience, endorse that woman? It's because you're told to.
Yeah.
You're forced to by the party.
I was very, very disappointed because I got him.
The only one that did.
I got him in a very high
well, look
level.
at Joe Lieberman. You know, they drove him out of the party. So he showed him who was boss. He ran again as an independent and won. And slapped the hell out of their face and then retired. You know, screw it. But he won. He went out with his head held high.
Right.
Because he beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
And that's what, And then you take other operatives like a Dick Morris and these people that were Clinton's henchmen back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
They're operatives. Well, now they're Republicans. Or they're conservatives. The truth comes out. When you're no longer getting a paycheck from the DNC, you start telling the truth. And that's what you see. And I swear to God, you'll see James Carville eventually is going to come around and start talking about the truth, because he's a closet Democrat. He's not for real. He's married to Mary Madeline, who's a staunch conservative, and that household wouldn't last under those conditions. She wears the pants, goddammit. Why she puts up with him is because he's a phony. He brings home a paycheck. That's
So
all she
you
cares
think
about.
you think he's a Democrat?
No, I think he's their attack dog is what he is, and he gets a paycheck for being an attack dog. So he says all this stuff that's just vicious out there stuff. He's like a male Debbie Wasserman Schultz in a way, who's just pathetic. She is pathetic. That's what the Democrat Party has as their spokespeople, people like that. She is absolutely a joke. You know?
You know, there's several judges are running for office now in Clark County, and some of the judges really need to be gone.
Well, I think that needs to be exposed, whatever it is that they have.
And some of the judges need to be confirmed because they're doing the right thing. You know, it's not that many judges that doing the right thing, but
I think we're having a change in the whole process here to where before, 10, 20 years ago, oh my God, you couldn't say anything about a judge because, wow, what would happen if you had to go before him or something, or you had to make your livelihood in his courtroom? You could never say anything against him. And that's the way the whole system was run. And nobody would say anything bad about a judge. So the people, when it comes time to vote, nobody said anything this way or that way.
Right.
So they just,
But that is because they cover up.
That's right.
That's because they cover up. You look at this situation with Judge Douglas Smith.
It's
Okay,
unbelievable.
Douglas Smith have notified the court, give him a list. I think I haven't not seen the list yet. I have not seen the list yet.
You've heard about it, and I've
But
heard about it.
15 people are not allowed to practice
They
law.
had a newspaper article with that paper, the daily paper, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And I think they had the picture of one attorney, a lady,
Yeah.
that was in his court over something, and she
Yeah.
got dressed down, if you will, by this judge, and he more or less said in the newspaper, that she wasn't allowed in his court. How do you do that?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, you probably saw that in the Tribune because
Well, I don't know.
because she didn't allow him to bully her.
It may
That's-
have been. It may have been.
And I got an affidavit. The Tribune has taken possession of an affidavit that she wrote against
Did you get
him.
that?
Yes, I
heard
got
you
that.
asked for it the other day.
Yeah, but I want the list of the attorneys.
Yeah.
They cannot, but nobody has it.
And then you can follow up with the attorneys and say, what do you think about this,
Yeah.
And then why don't you come into the show and talk about it or whatever if they can. And, this is the type of exposure we need. We need exposure because it's been too long. There's been too many things swept under the rug, especially in this town. And the corruption's taken over. And that's a disease that we'll never get rid of until we snuff it all out. And the only way to do it is to expose it to the people of this state.
Yeah.
What goes on here?
I don't know how that judge could have been elected. He got over
People
90.
don't know.
He got over 90. Well, I don't know how, because I tell you one thing, the Review Journal did expose him on that. He got over 90
Cases overturned.
overturned.
That's a waste of so much money. I can't even put a number to that, what that costs. And not only the case and to get it straightened out, but in the meantime, waiting for it to get straightened out. What does it do to whoever was involved in that case and he made a wrong decision and it has to be overturned? That devastates the side that lost. They shouldn't have lost. I mean, Jesus, that kills you. And it's against the law. What do we have in this country if you can't go by the law? When you break a law and you didn't know about the law, the rule is, well, that's your problem. You didn't know about it. Negligence is no excuse. You have to know the law. Well, I know the law. I follow the law. And then the judges don't follow the law. So what do you have? What do you do?
Well, because two people don't need to follow the law. You follow the law, but you are nothing in the courtroom. You are just a litigant. And the judge is in charge. He don't need to follow the law. He's in charge.
That's not the system that we were founded in. That's not the basis of the system. How about that judge in Alabama named Moore, I think it is, who's a chief of the Supreme Court in Alabama. He told whatever, made a decision, what have you, that all the judges, district court judges, I guess, in that state, can sign or not sign marriage certificates between same-sex couples, which goes against that previous ruling from the United States Supreme Court. And that's the law of the land, supposedly, from the Supreme Court. And here's a judge in Alabama saying, nope, I'm not going to follow it. Now, that's the same reason that gal in Kentucky went to jail for 5 days, because she refused to sign a marriage license for two gay people. And she goes to jail. Well, what's the difference with this judge? He's not following the Supreme Court decision. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the decision as far on religious grounds.
Yeah.
I think she bona fidely, believes in marriage is only between a man and a woman. I think she believes that. So that's religion. So I thought there was separation of state, church and state.
Yeah, but let me ask you, is the Supreme Court are the one that create the laws?
Well, it's supposed to be Congress creates the laws.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court interprets them as to whether they're constitutional or not. When you have dog catchers that are elected to the Congress or the Senate, like we have a tendency to do in this country. You elect people who have no qualifications to hold any position, let alone pass laws. So they pass laws now and then that are totally illegal. Look at Nancy Pelosi. We have to pass this law so we can find out what's in it. This is what we're up against in our system. It's corrupted, it's a joke, it's pathetic, and it doesn't work. So every now and then the Supreme Court has to say, wait a minute, that's an unconstitutional law. So they have the power to stop that law by being enforced, I think, until Congress considers it, or maybe the Supreme Court overrules them in that respect by ruling that it's unconstitutional. Because you can't beat the Constitution, it's supposed to be it. So if the Supreme Court says the Constitution said this, then that rule becomes unconstitutional. I think they trump, pardon the word, they trump Congress at that point, I believe. Now don't hold me to it, but I think so. But on the other hand, if the Constitution says one thing and the Supreme Court rules another, like legislating from the bench, that's not supposed to be allowed because the Supreme Court's supposed to only interpret the law, not legislate, not enact laws.
The next Republican debate is on the 14th of January or February?
January.
January. Where is going to be?
Next week. I don't know. I asked you that the other day. I'm still looking for the memo. I didn't get a response.
Oh.
You had to run off the other night to go to this city, state of the city and this and that, and I never got a reply from you. And it's not important. I mean, it'll be on TV. I'm not going to go where.
Well, I got to be in those places because if I'm going to run for a state senate
sure,
6,
you have to be seen.
I need to be
your face on
seen.
the camera.
I have to be published. I think I'm going to run.
I don't know. I've been trying to get on and find out where that is, and I can't even get on it. We have these bugs going on around here where they shut me down all the time. Keep me ill-informed, I think. But like I said, it doesn't really matter. Who's going to be in charge of this one? Is it Fox News again?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Fox Business? I don't know. I think it's...
Maybe it's Fox Business because I was watching I think it was outnumbered, and they said our own. So I forgot. I was on the phone when I hear that. I tried to listen, and I could not listen to what they said. She's going to be in the
one
panel.
Of the moderators.
Yeah, one of the moderators, and
whatever we. Well, when's the next? It doesn't matter. I think, isn't it on the Home Shopping Club network or something, the next Democratic debate? They're going to have it at 3 in the morning on the Home Shopping Club network. That's what I heard.
Who?
The next Democrat debate.
Whatever day is.
And then it's going to be opposite a big football game, like a playoff game.
Yeah.
On Home Shopping Club.
Yeah, Home Shopping.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
That's what they're gonna. We're gonna be accused of misleading the country by giving that type of information.
I got that. Not humor. I got that from the mainstream news. I heard that. Somebody's saying it, not me.
Okay.
I only am a repeat dog. I never come up with anything original.
Okay.
I just say what I hear,
Yeah.
But anyways, okay, if you want to call it a joke, maybe it is a joke, but it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it's
a way to emphasize what it really is.
Why would anybody do a debate on a Saturday night or Sunday
afternoon?
When everybody is barbecuing and
the reason is why they don't want anyone
I know
to
why.
watch
I know why.
And
but
they
I
have
want
those two mannequins propped up there, the Bernie Sanders and that Governor Mallory or whatever. Those are just two. They're
dummies,
robots.
right?
Yeah, they're just mannequins, I think. I don't even know if they're for real. But they had to put somebody out there with Hillary Clinton. Otherwise, kind of obvious.
I wonder if the people realize how insulted they are by saying that.
Every day, they rub it right in their face. The Democrats have nobody on their bench. And this is another problem when the FBI goes to the Justice Department with indictment material, there's going to be some big issues here because the Democrat Party is in such trouble. How do they How do they knock Hillary off, or how do they indict her? Who do they have? Who do they got to put
Uncle
up?
Joe.
I don't know if he can anymore. He might. I don't know.
Uncle Joe, why do you think he did that 90 minutes speech to tell people that he was not running?
So, all right. Well, let's ask it. Let me put a theory out there then, because there was a lot of talk about that. My theory was that Obama is going to be the one that Lynch is going to have to go to for permission, if you will, to indict Hillary. And Obama's going to go, don't ask me, right? So the reason that Biden did what he did was because this is already set up. Yeah. Obama's going to wash his hands, do what you have to, whatever. That's not my job.
And Uncle Joe is going to sacrifice himself.
Will sacrifice himself and then brush off the rest of that speech, the other 5 minutes or so, that he didn't say in a 45 or hour and a half or whatever that speech went, saying he wasn't going to run lasted an hour. So there's another 5 minutes somewheres where he really is running. So he just, gets that script out and finishes it off. And then from sacrifice, because his son called him from space or wherever he is, say, Dad, you got to run. The country just needs you. So he'll listen to his dead son and take the lead and then go to the people on his white horse and save the country.
And then he become president and Obama take over.
Well, Obama would be vice president, I guess.
For 3 months.
I don't know what the constitutionality is on that. I'm sure that, the law is he can't be president consecutively for 3 terms. Right?
But he got a pen and a cell phone.
Right.
He can do anything he wants to. He will save the country from Donald Trump. I think it's a very big sacrifice.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice.
The Constitution of this country, that's for sure. I mean, I don't think we're that far gone yet. If Hillary ever got elected for 8 years or something like that, we would be that far gone after another 8 years. I don't know if we're quite there yet where we can just have Obama sign a 3rd term for himself. I don't think we're quite there yet.
I do.
But we're
I had that feeling then. I
think so? He might try, but my point is I don't think we're there yet that's going to work. You really think he can just get away with that? I don't know. There is a silent majority in this country that don't bother to vote. Because what votes? 20%, 30% of the electorate actually votes? That's it. So there's 70% that don't even bother to go vote. You try something like that, and you might get half of those people to go vote. Now you got a revolution going on. And I don't care what kind of voting machines you have or how fixed they are. You can't flip an election that bad. That would be like Harry Reid was down 30%, and he wins by 80%. Come on, give me a break. That ain't going to happen.
Anything is possible, my friend.
Well, we'll see.
I think things, then, look at how did anybody will endorse or vote for Brian Sandoval, knowing then he was not a Republican, that he's a liar. I don't understand the things that I seen happen.
What was the alternative? Besides Sandoval, who was running back then? Rory Reid? Or?
I think it was Rory, but Rory would do a better governor than, believe it or not. I don't know if you ever met him, but
I've seen him.
And first of all, his relationship with his father wasn't the greatest relationship, in my opinion. You see them in a restaurant, and they don't even talk to each other unless it's a put on.
Kind of like
show.
Harry Reid's brother. They don't talk probably.
Harry was sitting over there with his wife, and Rory was sitting over here about 14 tables
Really?
away, and the mother had to go back and forth
with notes.
because that's her son, and she don't want to take sides, but that's her husband, and she had to make it look good. So I believe that I wrote an article about that, I believe, saying that Rory will do good, and Harry lied to Rory. He said, "You can run for governor because I'm not going to run for re-election," because people are not stupid. People can be taking abuse, but how much abuse can they take? You know,
That's the question we were just talking about. When are
it
the
was a
people gonna wake up?
dynasty. It was a dynasty. One son is the city attorney in Henderson. The other son is a lobbyist in Washington.
Yeah.
This son was Clark
There's a
County
daughter that
Commissioner.
does that stuff too, doesn't she? In Washington or something? Isn't she a lobbyist too or something? Doesn't he have a daughter?
Yeah, I
Really?
think he got a daughter, but I don't know if the daughter is,
She's some kind of operative, I think.
and I don't see. It was too much, I guess. So he said, "I'm not going to run." But the Republicans for Reed changed his mind, and he ran. So people didn't want to elect Rory as governor of the state of Nevada, where his father is the senior senator and majority leader of the, I mean, how much you want to stick it to us,
Well, they stuck it to us anyways. Largest tax increase in history. How is it going to be any worse?
And Harry
under
was supporting
Sandoval.
Sandoval.
Yeah.
Every
When his son was running.
every position the Sandoval has is
Because
being
of
offered
Reed.
by
Sure.
Harry Reid.
Mr. Clean. Yeah.
So I don't know. I believe that it is now it is time for change and hope.
Well, Yeah, well.
I don't know if we can do that because
we need drastic change because the system, the way it is, isn't working. We've tried it for how long, and look at the results. Just look at the results.
and we
so-
need to hope for the best.
We have the best, and we should be down thanking him every day for running. He doesn't have to run, Trump,
Oh no.
but he is because he feels that he owes something to America, and he wants to pay America back and make it great again. I believe that. There's no reason for the man to not want to do that. He's too successful. He has a brand. He has a name. Why would he ever want to fall flat on his face? He wouldn't. He's going to be a successful president, maybe the best ever. He's certainly the most qualified going in.
I know, and I believe, honestly, from deep inside me, I believe that the people of this country would like to see somebody that is not a politician, somebody that is intelligent enough to hire the best qualified
That's what
people.
it comes down to. Running anything, you need to delegate because you can't
That's
do everything yourself.
I believe he will be smart enough, intelligent enough, then he will choose the best.
I think he already knows who the best are. The Democrats hire the worst. Look at Obama's record, who he filled his administration with. Holder. I mean, who are these people? Van Jones. I mean, an avowed Marxist. I mean, and all the czars that he hired. I mean, come on, give me a break. They were the most unqualified people ever. Trump knows who's qualified. He knows who the qualified generals are. Haven't there been 4 or 5 generals who have taken early retirement just because they're not going to put up with Obama? And these are qualified people.
Is Jeb Bush still in the race?
Apparently, he hasn't dropped out yet because he still
No?
has $50 million to squander, as they
Well,
say.
I tell you, I never had any faith in any of the Bushes, but when I saw Jeff running and I see how much of a wimp he looks like,
Oh, God.
he will not be able to handle the situation the way it is today.
Immigration is an act of love.
Well, he has to support immigration because his wife is Mexican.
But she's legal.
How do we know that she was legal when she came
well,
here?
but she is now. But isn't my point?
But
is,
when I
think
saw the team that he hired over here in Las Vegas to handle the campaign, I mean, I said, this is it. This guy is never gonna win.
And that's just his campaign. What if he ever, God forbid, became president? What kind of administration would he have? Completely unqualified, I would guess. Now,
People get the idea that because daddy and brother has been president, he's not qualified to be a president, in my opinion. But I don't know. I never talk to the guy. I never hear him talking because, besides, talk is cheap anyway. So I don't like him. And because I don't like him, I don't listen to him, which is wrong. I should be listening to him so I can expose why I don't like him. Besides, he, like Hillary, are following a dynasty. People are getting tired of the Bushes and the Clinton and the Bushes and the Clinton.
Well, why aren't they just as tired as the Clintons as they are apparently a Bush? How come there's a Clinton on the stage? Clinton's leading. Why aren't they tired of that dynasty?
She's not leading in the Democrat Party. Oh, yeah.
Why is she there? Bush isn't leading in the Republican.
But how do we know that she's leading? Because
we're
the polls
told that.
We're told that.
Yeah, by the
but
mainstream
we don't know
media.
Because everybody that I talk to,
Well, then who's
even
leading? Bernie
Democrats,
Sanders?
tell me they're not going to vote for her. And woman
I
Democrats.
think Bernie Sanders might be leading in New Hampshire again.
Woman Democrats are not voting for her.
Well, let's hope so, because that'll be a good sign that maybe the American people are waking up, and a lot of women, they vote by something that's not, let's say, on qualifications. They vote on some other thing. Like I was in New Hampshire watching during the last election with Romney and so forth and Obama, and they were filming some people in line to vote in Manchester. And they've asked this guy in front of this lady, who's he voting for? He said, I'm voting for Romney. And they asked him why, and he went, bam, 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 bam. He named off like 18 distinct reasons why. Okay, and then they go to the lady standing behind him. Who are you voting for? Oh, I'm voting for the president. And why is that? Because he's a nice man. That's what you get. That's an issue with women voters. Sorry to say, not all of them. I'll qualify it like Trump does. Not all. I'm sure there's some very fine women voters. But that particular lady should not be voting.
I knew a guy that voted for Bill Clinton because he liked his wife. I don't know what kind of...
What?
Well,
not his mistress?
The first
he liked
time.
His wife?
The first time. Well, I tell you the truth. Honestly, I think his wife looked better than any of his mistresses. He got a horrible taste for women. Horrible.
Well, but most of those bubbas, they do. They don't care about what the woman looks like. They care about what she's got, And that's down there between her legs. That's all they care about.
I know, but I mean, for Christ's sake, I'm old. I think I'm older than Bill Clinton. I don't know how old he is, but I tell you, I will not at this point in time, at my age, even with my financial situation, I will not even bother talking to any of those women that he went out with.
Yeah, no, the different types of men. Some are just hounds. They're hound dogs. That's what they are. And
unbelievable.
I had a good friend of mine from California area, very, very wealthy, and he would come to town by himself. He'd leave his wife at home, but I've met the wife many times. She's beautiful, beautiful lady, and personable. She was great. She was a trophy wife, okay? And he'd come over here, and he would troll and dig up anything he could find anywhere. He didn't care. He didn't care what in the world he went after.
Yeah.
And that I could never understand that. I could never understand
that chair
that.
over there. Let's see what
I always consider myself a topper. I'm not going to get some other chick unless I top the
I
last
know,
one.
and I tell you, when I was younger, and I think right now, right now I got a pretty good taste for women. But
Well, you
let's
better
see
have.
what,
Jeez, how much experience? I
let's
mean,
see
geez.
what Captain Truth have to say.
Oh.
And
Now we'll find the
that
real
that
scoop.
he cannot wait until 1 o'clock when his time come up. He need to do that.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, Rolando. I really appreciate it. One thing that I'm going to be talking about the ship that I've recently uncovered. There is a very, 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 what I consider more important than anything that we could discuss right now, that we're going to be discussing between 1 and 2. It came out Wednesday night. It should be on the top of every news reports, yet it's not there. Why isn't it there, folks? Because they use the controlled media, the lamestream media, to convince you that the Federal Reserve needs to raise interest rates. I don't know if you heard that just before they actually had the meeting and did it. And anybody in their right mind would know that Americans need to pay more interest to these psychopathic killers that print money, right?
But what is what you find out?
Okay, well, what it is
Yeah.
Barack Obama will be impeached. It came out Wednesday night. There are 75 criminal offenses that have been uncovered and documented.
But let me ask you a question, and everybody knows that I wouldn't like nothing better than that. But what's the use to do that now? And
Glad you asked.
in 10 months,
In the material, he can. How much damage can he do in 10 months?
it will take 10 months to take him to impeach him.
No, definitely, no, definitely not.
Wouldn't that stop him?
It would take at least 10 weeks.
Huh?
It would take at least 10 weeks to get him out of office.
I don't-
If the American people will take a look at the facts and think for themselves, and I know it's going to be tough
Well,
for a lot of them.
Okay, but I don't know if nationwide federal jobs are the same as statewide. But what's going to happen? They're going to impeach him, and then Joe Biden is going to be the president for the rest of the time.
Well, if we
And
stand-
then
if we
Joe, and then Joe Biden is going to run as the incumbent. What benefit will be for the country?
If we stand by and allow that to happen, then we'll get what we deserve.
Well, that's what
we
I'm
have.
saying.
We have a man who says that he is qualified to be president, and he wants to take America back to greatness.
Who is that?
I believe his name is Trump.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, let's
if
for a
the
minute,
American
let's-
people, if
let's
the American people demand the replacement of Barack Obama, and due to the emergency situations, nothing else can be done.
Yeah, but
we need to. Let me finish, please. We need to suspend the election
Yeah.
until the emergency is over. We have terrorist fighters that have been brought into our country to kill us. They are raping and killing people in Europe. It's just a matter of time before they do it here. If you think that that's not a problem,
I believe then if you impeach a public official, it has to be with an individual, male or female, of the same party. Donald Trump cannot take the presidency because Obama is impeached.
no, he can't
Not till
take
the
it.
terms-
The American people can give it to him. If
I
there's
don't
if there's a
think so.
consensus of a danger to this country,
Well, I hope you're right.
All we have to do is look at what's happening in Europe right now. The police are standing down while these terrorists rape women. They're standing right
Well,
across the
it's bad.
street and doing nothing about
Well-
it. Did it get media coverage? No.
Look at that yesterday. A police officer sitting in his car, an individual went there and shoot him.
Where was this?
13 times. I forgot.
Oh yeah,
where.
and he survived.
Of course,
Philadelphia.
it was one of the terrorists that has
Yeah.
been brought into our country.
Yeah.
Is that an emergency situation
And
to
the
you?
gun that the guy used, I
They-
think, was a
it wasn't
police gun.
It wasn't any Syrian refugee.
No,
Oh.
well, yeah, I think, no, he did have ties to ISIS.
Well, he had phony ID. We don't really know.
Oh,
He had ties to ISIS, and I think the chief or somebody, a liberal, has come out saying that he has absolutely no, that's all about, the guy said he did. The killer said he has ties.
Yeah.
And whoever the person was said, no, that's not true. How the hell does he know?
yeah.
All he
Like I
knows is
said.
he picked up the bag of money. To say that.
Well, all I can tell you, and I said that again
We're in
twice.
interesting times. I apologize for not reading the Tribune. I'm making a public disclosure at this point. Enough. But I promise you, in the days ahead, starting Monday, I will be well read on the Tribune. I encourage you to do the same. Go to the Las Vegas Tribune or go to Radio Tribune and get there. I believe you can get there through there. Start reading this newspaper. If you care about your country, if you care about your future, now's the time to get in the game, folks.
And I said twice in this show today, if the Democrats take over the election for next year, for the next 4 years, I retire. I close shop, and I don't want to do anything else because I believe that the American people have what they want, what they deserve. If they want to be abused, used and abused, that's their problem. I don't need to open anybody's eyes anymore. That's simple as that. In the meantime, I thank you for listening, and tomorrow we off, but next week we might be a couple days out of being in the air because the radio station is moving separate from the Las Vegas Tribune, and they moving to a different location. So I probably, I don't know if we can do it at nighttime or we can do it early in the morning, but we might be off the air for a couple hours someday next week. So in the meantime, God bless you. Thank you for listening, and God bless America.